They say only God can judge us mortals, but it turns out that nature also has a thing or two to say about our merits. Every now and then, Mother Nature shows her true colors, taking what she considers hers by mercilessly wiping cities off the face of the earth. And no matter how powerful we may become, she's always one step ahead of us, ready to punish the most ingenious plans of humankind. Welcome to my channel. And today, let's find out when seas swallowed cities. The lost harbors of three ancient civilizations. Civilization. For thousands of years, civilization and the sea have had a love-hate relationship. They've been together since the dawn of human history. Our earliest ancestors were coastal dwellers who hunted shellfish for food. Civilization began in river valleys where floods left nutrient-rich silt, which made farming easier. But our species wouldn't have flourished without the sea. Sailors traveled across the ocean, bringing new foods and ideas to faraway lands. They discovered new lands and traded with other cultures. Fishermen supplied protein to coastal communities. For centuries, the sea was the main highway for international trade. Coastal cities were major centers of commerce. Seawater was used to preserve food. Salt from the sea played an important role in preserving fish and meat. In ancient times, people would dry out seawater to make salt. A staple of diets all over the world, salt is still an essential part of our cuisine. It's also been used as a form of currency. People would pay workers in salt instead of cash. People have lived on coasts for thousands of years, and many of the world's oldest and greatest cities are located on coastlines. But that doesn't mean humans have always lived in harmony with the sea. The sea can be dangerous. Storms, floods, and rising water levels can cause catastrophic damage. Entire cities can be wiped out in a matter of hours. In this video, we'll take a look at three ancient harbors that were once important centers of trade and culture, but are now lost beneath the waves. The first city on our list is Pavlopetri. Archaeological evidence suggests that the Greek island of Crete was inhabited as early as 7000 BC. However, the first substantial evidence of human activity dates back to around 5200 BC, during the late Neolithic period. This was when the first permanent settlements emerged on the island. But our knowledge of pre-Minoan Crete is fragmented due to a lack of written records. The Minoans were a Bronze Age civilization that flourished on the island of Crete. From around 2700 BC to 1450 BC, they were known for their advanced culture, which included impressive palaces, a linear script, and vibrant artwork depicting scenes from daily life, nature, and mythology. The Minoan civilization reached its peak during the Middle Bronze Age, characterized by significant artistic, architectural, and cultural achievements. The most iconic structures of this era are the magnificent palaces of Knossos, Phaistos, Malea, and Zakros, which served as centers of administration, religion, and commerce. These palaces showcased advanced engineering feats, such as sophisticated plumbing systems and multi-story buildings, elements that were ahead of their time. Unfortunately, the Minoan civilization faced a decline following a series of natural disasters and external influences. The volcanic eruption of Thera, modern-day Santorini, around 1650 BC, had a profound impact on Crete, leading to societal upheaval and a shift in power dynamics. Subsequently, the island came under the influence of the Mycenaean Greeks around 1450 BC, marking the end of the Minoan era. During the Bronze Age, the harbor at Kamos on the southern coast of Crete was a significant hub of trade. Excavations at the site revealed remnants of a large dock structure dating back to the late Bronze Age, suggesting that ships could be securely moored there. The harbor, strategic location, facilitated maritime trade not only within the Mediterranean, but extended as far as the Near East and Egypt. It's believed that the harbor's activities peaked during the Neopalatial period, when Knossos, Phaistos, Malea, and Zakros flourished. During this time, the port played a crucial role in connecting Crete to wider networks of exchange. The goods imported through Kamos harbor included raw materials like wood and metals, agricultural products, and luxury items such as ivory and wine. The harbor bustled with activity as merchants, traders, and sailors from various regions gathered here to conduct their businesses. Today, nothing remains of this ancient harbor except some dilapidated ruins and the memory of its former glory. It was totally destroyed by a massive earthquake that struck the island in 325 AD. along with most of the rest of the Minoan palaces. Over the centuries, the sea level rose and the harbor was flooded. Now it's home to an artificial reef, a sunken city. Hidden beneath the waves, Port Royal, Jamaica, located on the southwestern coast of Jamaica. Port Royal was a bustling port city and a significant center of maritime trade during the 16th and 17th centuries. Its strategic location along the Caribbean coast made it an ideal hub for merchants, pirates and privateers who frequented these waters. Founded in 1518, Port Royal quickly grew into a prosperous settlement due to its natural harbor and proximity to the Americas and Europe. The town's economy thrived on the lucrative trade of sugar, tobacco, and other commodities. However, Port Royal's reputation was overshadowed by its association with pirates and privateers, who used the town as a base for their operations. These infamous figures amassed fortunes through plunder and smuggling, making Port Royal a notorious haven for outlaws. In 1692, disaster struck Port Royal when a devastating earthquake caused widespread destruction and claimed numerous lives. The impact of this natural calamity led to the town's decline and abandonment. As the years went on, the harbor silted up and was no longer usable. The once great port became a shadow of its former self. Today, little remains of Port Royal above the water, except for a few crumbling walls and the ghostly silhouette of a once great city. The harbor is now a murky, shallow lagoon, choked with weeds and littered with the debris of its former glory. Only the occasional scuba diver or fisherman venture into these murky waters, hoping to catch a glimpse of the past or maybe just a big fish. The last city on our list is Lion City. The name itself evokes images of power, wealth, and opulence. The story of this legendary metropolis dates back to the 4th century BC, a time when China was divided into several warring states. Amidst this chaos, the Qin state emerged as a dominant force under the rule of the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang. He envisioned a grand capital city that would serve as the seat of his empire. Thus, in 200 BC, he founded the magnificent city of Lyons. Over the next 2 centuries, Lyons grew into a bustling metropolis with a population of over 1 million people, making it one of the largest cities in the world at the time. The city was renowned for its imposing walls, which were originally 18 meters high and 5 meters thick. These served not only as a defensive structure, but also as a symbol of the empire's power and prestige. Within the city walls lay a treasure trove of architectural marvels. The luxurious palace complex sprawled majestically, serving as the emperor's opulent residence. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens enjoyed comfortable homes with courtyards, gardens, and even rudimentary plumbing systems. But the glory of Lyon City was not destined to last. In 119 BC, after decades of internal strife and external threats, the Western Han dynasty came to an end with the establishment of the Qin dynasty. When the Qin Emperor Wu Wangmeng attempted to abolish Confucianism and replace it with his own legalist ideology, a rebellion erupted led by the scholar official Wang Meng's opponents. As the rebels seized control of the imperial capital, they looted and pillaged the city. After 8 years of chaos and instability, Wang Meng's reign was cut short in 23 AD when he was executed by his own grandmother, Wang Ginjin. With the restoration of the Han dynasty, the city was rebuilt and renamed Chang'an, meaning eternal peace. However, the Qin dynasty's turbulent rule had dealt a severe blow from which Lyon City never fully recovered. Today, archaeologists have uncovered evidence of a massive earthquake that struck the city around the year 150 AD. The earthquake seems to have caused extensive damage to the city's infrastructure, including the famous city walls. According to historical records, it took more than 100 years to repair the damage done to the city walls. But even after all these years, the repair work was still ongoing when the city was abandoned in the 5th century AD. The earthquake appears to have been so devastating that it cracked the foundations of the city, causing it to sink into the ground. The area was hit by a tsunami that completely submerged the city. If you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, join our community to suggest topics and get early access to videos before they're published. See you next time.